If I may, I'd like to begin by first just telling you who I am, because I realize not all of you know who I am. My name is Father Chlebo. I'm the pastor of St. Christopher Parish in Rocky River, and my connection here is that I started my priestly ministry here after ordination in 1980 for 6 years as the associate pastor of St. Cosmas and Damian, and Father Bob was my first pastor. So that's how I ended up being here today, because some years ago he asked me to preach in his homily, hedging his bets that I would outlive him. And obviously he won that bet. The parish has changed a great deal since I was here. It's certainly an honor and a privilege to be here this morning. And also on behalf of Bishop Perez, who's not able to be here today because he's at the bishop's meeting in Baltimore. I suspect he would much rather be here, but he certainly sends his sympathy and his prayers, along with certainly Bishop Roger and all the priests that are gathered here, particularly to Father Bob's family. His one nephew, Tom, is here today representing the family, and you're from Pittsburgh, and I know you have families scattered all over, including Father Bob's sister, Rita, out in California. So please extend our prayers and sympathy to your family, and our thanks for sharing Uncle Bob with us for these many, many years. I also expect that same sympathy and prayers to the people of St. Cosmas and Damian Parish. This was a home for Father Bob. You received him. You worked with him. He loved you very much. He loved this parish. He loved his time of ministry here. So thank you for being so good to him for those many years, and also in his retirement early on when he continued to minister here. He was very grateful for that opportunity. About a week before Father Friedel passed away, I had the chance to visit him at Metro Hospital. As it happened, it was the last visit I had with him. It was a day when he was more conscious and aware of his surroundings than he had been during the week prior. After some initial pleasantries, I suggested we pray and asked if I could anoint him. He agreed, and his nephew Jim and his friend May joined in that prayer. When we finished, I broached the subject of his funeral homily that he had asked me to preach some years ago. Bob, being the detail person he was not, had not indicated any specific readings. The only request he had was, not "Shepherd me, O God," for the responsorial song. I'm not sure why, perhaps some of you know. I suggested the Emmaus Gospel and shared some of my reasons. I asked if that would be okay, and he said yes. I then asked if he had any other words of wisdom, and he said simply, be a good priest. Be a good priest. I responded that I've been trying to do that, and would continue to do so as he had taught me. Those simple words stayed with me all the way home, and I realized I had a theme for this holiday. Father Bob Friedel has been a good priest for 61 years. I recall an occasion during Holy Week one year when Bob and myself, along with our deacon at the time, Vince Belcito, shared a homily on the Emmaus Gospel. And how appropriate it is that you just proclaimed that gospel for us today. Bob took the part of Christ, and Vince and I were the two disciples. Together we reflected on the passage as three people on a journey. I do not recall the exact details, but the experience left a lasting impression upon me. It caused me to have a real love for the passage, and it showed me a different side of Father Friedel, because it was his idea and a bit out of character for him. And I believe an insight into his own love for the passage. You see, Father Bob journeyed with Christ as a priest, as well as with the many people he met along the way. His 61 years as a parish priest in this diocese took him on a journey to St. Agnes in Cleveland, St. Francis de Sales in Akron, St. Mary in Painesville, St. Bridget in Parma, Holy Family in Parma, and finally here to St. Cosmas and Damian as pastor, where he served for 24 years, the longest serving pastor thus far in this parish's history. Along the way, he made many friends and had many companions, and some of you are here today. His journey included time with his family that were scattered outside the Cleveland area. A sister, Leone, in Pittsburgh, 2 sisters, Rita and Jane, in California, nieces and nephews, scattered all about. This scattering of family led into another family he came to know and love in Akron, Bill and May Kennedy, and their host of relatives. Bill passed away last year, but May has remained faithful and attentive to Father Bob, especially in these last few years as his health declined. We are all grateful to you, May, for that care and that concern. Your family has been wonderful companions to Father Bob along his journey. Father Friedel loved being a priest, and he loved being with priests. They were a big part of his journey. He was faithful to priest district meetings, priest funerals, and priest social gatherings. He enjoyed time with his classmates, several of whom are here today, especially his golfing partners, Dick Ziegler and Tom Zeisig. He missed them both when God called each of them home. Ultimately, what gave Bob the strength he needed to be a good priest was found in the breaking of the bread, the Eucharist. He had a great devotion to the Blessed Sacrament, whether it was celebrating Mass, taking communion to the homebound, or spending time in prayer. Like the disciples at Emmaus, he recognized Christ in the breaking of the bread, and that in turn helped him to recognize Christ in his companions on his journey, the people he served and loved as a parish priest. Indeed, it has been a long journey. As Timothy wrote in the second reading we heard today, Father Bob has fought the good fight and now finished the race, a marathon of 87 years. He had his challenges along the way. Being a priest and pastor has times of loneliness and difficult decisions. He has lost many loved ones along the way, and he himself had his ups and downs in his own health. And of course, he was a huge fan of Cleveland sports, and we all know how challenging that can be. Through it all, he has kept and shared the faith and merited the crown that had awaited him. God has, in the words of Isaiah in our first reading, provided for us a good priest, and God will on this day, when we celebrate Bob's priestly ministry, wipe away our tears. Before I conclude, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge that Father Friedel, who was certainly a good priest, did like to have a good time. I'd like to offer these 3 examples. Besides the travel he did to visit family, he loved to vacation and travel for fun. Whether it was a cruise, a car trip somewhere in the United States, a stop in Vegas, or a journey to Europe, Father Friedel enjoyed the chance to travel. It was another part of his journey. As I mentioned earlier, he enjoyed golfing with his classmates, but did not limit himself only to them. He golfed with parishioners and other friends. After all, golf too is a kind of journey. In his retirement, he even golfed with me. In fact, the last time he golfed was with me. His back was bothering him, as it had off and on throughout the years. But now that he was older, it was not worth the pain. On that last journey around Glen Eagles here in Twinsburg, I actually beat him for the first and only time. And he claimed that was the reason he finally gave up golf. I guess he taught me more than just being a good priest. The third thing he enjoyed was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. No, not for a nap. for a gin martini, extra dry with an olive. So, to Father Bob Friedel, may those who have known and walked with you in this life continue to be good companions to one another and recognize Christ in the breaking of the bread. And may your brother priests heed your example and advice to be good priests. Until we meet again, Father Bob Friedel, may you rest in peace in the hands of a loving, gentle, and merciful God.